top 10 strongest trainer-owned Pokemon in the anime. Trainer-owned means that a Pokemon was commanded by a trainer at some point in time and was used in at least one official battle. Number 5. Ash's Charizard. Okay, I know this placement seems way too high, but hear me out because I have a reason. Legendary Pokemon are the kings of the Pokemon world, and most of the time a regular Pokemon's strongest attacks won't even make them flinch. In Pokemon Journeys, we see Ash, Gary, and Tokyo all team up to take on an Articuno raid boss. Despite using powerhouses like Lucario and Pokemon with humongous type advantages like Tyranitar, they got absolutely humiliated. Multiple rounds of 4-on-1, and they couldn't harm a single feather on this majestic bird's icy plumage. Ash probably should have done better, seeing as this wasn't his first time battling an Articuno. He faced off against the one belonging to Frontier Brain Nolan using his Charizard, and he won. Charizard defeated a legendary Pokemon in single combat, absorbing hit after hit but persevering and finishing the battle with a seismic toss. For Charizard to be able to achieve this, he had to be on another level, because even champions struggle against legendaries. Number 4. Ash's Greninja. Greninja needs no introduction, and his many accomplishments have become legendary over the years. From almost defeating champion Diantha's Ace with a pre-mastery bond phenomenon, to his action-packed showdown with Sawyer's Mega Sceptile, his battle prowess cannot be questioned. However, I'm giving Greninja this high of a placement, mostly because of his return in Journeys. The way he dismantled Ash's Lucario, who was already pretty strong at that point, showed that his power level had skyrocketed since the Kalos League. His standard water shurikens looked way bigger than before, and his speed had increased so much that Lucario could barely even see him. The really crazy part is that all of these upgrades came without being in the Ash Greninja form. There's no doubt in my mind that this version of Greninja would absolutely wipe the floor with the Elan's Mega Charizard, especially with the bond phenomenon active. I know people consider him overrated, but he's still definitively Ash's strongest regional ace. Number 3. Steven's Metagross. Hey Greninja, this is how you take a blast burn. Metagross is a little tough to place because it hasn't appeared in the anime all that much, but the evidence we have shows that this thing is strong beyond belief. It took on Elan's Charizard and seemed to be the stronger of the two before the battle was interrupted. Facing off against Primal Kyogre, a literal god of nature, it was able to get some hits and that looked like they did some real damage. In the Masters 8, this Pokemon was making Ash and Pikachu in their prime look silly. The boy from Pallet Town and his ace had no idea what to do, as Steven and Mega Metagross casually predicted their every move. Until 10 million volt Thunderbolt was activated, Pikachu didn't even land one hit. I've been playing a really popular Pokemon game lately. The Pikachu I tamed in it is super powerful. You can download the game by clicking on the link in my profile intro. If you can't see the link, check out the pinned video on top of my profile page, or you can also private message me directly. Number 2. Cynthia's Garchomp and Leon's Charizard. Look, I know that it's kind of a cop-out to have a tie, but I had no way of proving that one was stronger than the other. Every fiber of my being wanted to say it was Garchomp. As for Garchomp's Masters 8 loss, it wasn't necessarily because Mega Lucario was stronger, but rather because of Ash's brilliant tactic to hide reversal until a final clash. Meanwhile, Leon's Charizard was straight up overpowered by Pikachu. However, there was a big problem with putting Garchomp ahead. We see the finals of the previous Masters tournament at the start of Journeys, and it's between Lance and Leon. This means Cynthia presumably lost to one of them, unless of course she wasn't competing, but this seems very unlikely due to her status as a veteran. She's also one behind Leon in the rankings, and I have a really hard time believing that the top 2 trainers didn't compete at all over the course of the season. This evidence all points to the fact that Garchomp may have lost to Charizard, but I can't say for sure, and thus we settle for a tie. Number 1. A tie between Tobias's Darkrai and Latios. I'm kidding, this guy sucks. He's a cheater, and I'm convinced he's not even a real person. My theory on him is that he's just a nightmare manifestation created by Darkrai, based on Ash's internal fear of never being able to become a Pokemon master. But this nightmare never came to pass. Number 1. The real number 1 this time. Ash's Pikachu. I mean, were you really expecting anything else? He is the ace of the world champion. Pikachu will always be our beloved hero's greatest partner and greatest friend. Over 25 years, he has faced many trials and slowly grown along the way. There were some ecstatic highs and some truly pitiful lows. But in the end, this iconic duo triumphed. They handed the unbeatable champion Leon and his Charizard their first ever defeat in an official battle. Rather than some long explanation of why Pikachu deserves the one spot, I want to express my gratitude for the memories that he's made for me and countless others. Thank you, Ash and Pikachu. You will exist in my heart now and forevermore.